Hi dear students, welcome back to one more session on linkage and crossing over. And today we are going to explore the cytological evidence of crossing over. Morgan and his collaborators established the genetic basis of crossing over and linkage, describing that exchange of parts do occur between homologous chromosomes and a linear arrangement of linked genes do occur along the chromosomes. But this genetic inclination or bias could not be demonstrated cytologically since we cannot observe the homologous chromosomes under a microscope. But later on, it was the experiments of S. Stern on Drosophila as well as H. B. Creighton and B. McClintock on maize which enables us to give a cytological evidence of crossing over. And in today's session, we would be exploring the cytological evidence of crossing over. Let's talk about S. Stern's experiments on Drosophila. S. Stern discovered that there was a variety of Drosophila in which a part of the Y chromosome had broken off and had become attached to the end of one of the X chromosome. And at the same time, he also noticed another variety in which one of the X chromosome was broken. And if you go to consider Drosophila, normally the fly has a red round eyes. And he found that there are also two mutant genes which are being found in the X chromosome. One is carnation causing the darkish red eyes, that is CAR, and that is recessive to the red eye, the normal red eye color. And another mutant gene was also being found on the X chromosome called the BAR, causing the narrow eyes and dominant to the round eyes. Now, as we all know, the female fly is double X and the male is XY. So, in female double X, one chromosome was broken into two by X-ray or other means and contained a mutant gene for carnation as well as the barred variety. And the other X contained normal allele, that is for red round eye, and its end, a segment of the Y chromosome was attached onto it. Now, this breaking of X chromosome and attaching Y segment is a plan or a scheme to distinguish between crossover and non-crossover progenies. So, we'll just look into the experiment, what he was done. So, he had crossed, what do you say? You have a barred female over here and a carnation male over here, and it was being crossed. So, the carnation female produces 4 types of gametes. These are the non-crossover gametes. These are the non-crossover ones, and this is where a single crossover is been happening. So in the non-crossovers, you have 2 different types of gametes, and in the single crossover, you have 2 different types of gametes. So 2 of these gametes are being found to be crossovers. See, these 2 are crossovers, and these are non-crossover gametes. So if crossing over has been happened over here, the segments are getting changed. Now, when this barred female was being crossed with a carnation male, okay, what happens? You are getting the non-crossovers, okay, are carnation bar and red round, while the crossover contains red bar and the carnation round. So you can see different types of offsprings which are being formed over here. So like that, you can see what happens. The site under the microscope, because of the change in this chromosomes variations, you can see whether the crossing over is been happening or not. Now in this case, you can see this is a carnation barred one, that with a this one, that's it. You get a what carnation barred variety over here. In this you get a wild type when this and this is being crossed, and here a corresponding barred variety, and here carnation barred variety. So thus, because all these chromosomes could be viewed under the microscopes, Stern's experiment was unique demonstration of the hypothesis that interchange of chromosomal material takes place between the homologous chromosomes. Now let's move on to the next experiment, which was being carried out by Creighton and McClintock. They mainly worked on maize, and they observed a corn plant which had a pair of chromosomes whose two members could be held apart cytologically. And among them, one was normal, and another had a translocated piece of another chromosome at one end, and the other end was like a knob, like it had a protuberance. So the normal chromosome carried C for colorless endosperm and capital letter W for the starchy endosperm. And the other knobbed chromosome had alleles for capital letter C for colored endosperm and small letter W for the waxy endosperm. So Crichton and McClintock, they crossed this plant with a plant having homologous chromosome with the recessive genes, that is colorless as well as the waxy endosperm. And they observed that as a gametogenesis happened, what happens? Two non-crossovers gametes will be formed, and which after union with four kind of the offsprings. And the non-crossover plants, that is a colorless starchy as well as a colorless waxy, obtained from the parent, either knobbed chromosome or the normal but crossover plants, had one chromosome of this particular pair, and it contained a chromosome with a translocated piece but no knob. Whereas a starchy showed knobbed chromosome but no translocated piece. Thus, crossovers showed the cytological evidence of crossing over, that is, the exchange of homologous chromosome parts during the maturation of the germ cells was being obtained by the experiments which have been carried out by McClintock as well as Crichton. So, under the microscope, we were able to view such, or the cytological basis of crossing over were being provided by the experiments of Stern as well as Crichton and McClintock. And with this, I hope it is clear to you. Thank you for this session.